which in turn would destabilize and
Good evening, you're tuned into Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Coming up next, a rebroadcast of the Lall show. That will be the April 21st, 2021 edition. So, of course, do stay tuned to Kaieteur Radio.
Oh, yes. Tonight, like you said, is entertainment. I hope you guys can sing a nice song for me, because I'm in a good mood. It's Wednesday, and I'm going to celebrate a birthday with a friend. I would just want to wish him God's richest blessing, and may he continue to live in good health and strength and continue to do the good things he do for the people. He always do. Good evening to all of you. Try, perhaps, maybe. Those are the three words all of our leaders running this country with. Try, perhaps, and maybe. A man said, the worst disease in the world today is corruption, and there is a cure. The cure is transparency. That word simply means let all see what they do in an open fashion. It must be clear. That's how you avoid corruption. Are we seeing anything what these leaders are doing these days, guys?
No.
No. Well, let me say good night to all of you again. It's a beautiful Wednesday evening, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, man, it is. It is. Thanks for tuning in. It has been a pleasure being able to talk to you every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I wake each day with one thing in mind. Do my best to educate all of you as to what is taking place in this beautiful country of ours. Many of you go to work and wonder why your paycheck is so small. Many of you stay home and dream about a better life. Some of you roam the streets in search for food each day that goes by, while some thief every day for a living. Why? Why, brothers and sisters? When I look at what we have in this country, it bothers my soul as to why this country is touted as the third richest oil country in the world. And what? Where are we? Our lives have changed?
No.
Is the what? What, brothers and sisters? We carried a story yesterday which says ExxonMobil running ahead with a fiber optic cable to connect from the ship to their head office in Georgetown, so them can monitor real time how much oil coming up every minute and what is going on out there too. So they can also update their shareholders all over the world as to how their money growing by the minute in them bank books or bank accounts. You hear that?
Yes.
Our government our financial gurus here, on the other hand, from both sides, the PPP and the PNC, since December 2019, these people pumping oil. Them never see it wise to buy and install that cable to watch, to see, or to monitor the oil as it comes up, despite many calls for them to do so. The King of Saudi Arabia, he has a nerve center in his office that every single drop of oil that comes up from every one of the rigs, he gets to see. Leaders all over the world in oil producing countries, they do the same. They have the same nerve center set up in their offices so that they can see everything that goes on, that nobody can rob them. But that ain't important to our leaders. Them just taking whatever figure Exxon throws at them, that any figure Exxon tells them or hand them, that's our leaders. Your cattle ranch, gate open, and the people fetching out your animals, and you end putting a padlock on the gate with a checker to monitor how many animals going out. How much more smart can our leaders get, man? Now you have the man who fetching out your animals, putting a padlock on the gate that belongs to you with their checkers, foresee what is coming out, but you ain't got none. Isn't that laughable, guys?
Of course.
Very much.
And you the owner sitting back, taking the figure, what them tell you. Isn't this thing upside down?
I wonder why.
What a Guyana, eh? This is beautiful Guyana. We can't buy a padlock and put two people to check for ourselves. What's going on, man? Come on. Something that is so important and very cheap. You don't have to go take a World Bank loan for put that down. Them a giveaway or thief out more than that. More than that money. Every week. Every week, guys. You know, it's a good thing I don't suffer from blood pressure. If not by now, I might take the crap out. We giving away $15 billion in tax waivers and exemptions now as I speak. 15, which is 75 million US dollars every month. That 1 month money alone we giving away can buy 2 fiber optic cable from another country and still have money left back for build a couple schools or hospitals. So we can see and record every drop of oil that comes up daily. You hear me?
Yes.
But we are not doing that. Hear what GRA say. Them does have to rely on Exxon when them come in for give them that information. Man, the people fetching out 50 shiploads a month, and when they come in here on shore, they tell GRA they ship out 5 when 30 gone out. Is this thing for real?
No.
Is our leaders real?
No.
GRA said they have had to rely heavily on vessels which come to shore for whatever reason to report on what's happening offshore. Yes, we police force got to rely on bandits for send vehicles to go see the crime them commit. What a Guyana. What a beautiful Guyana.
Oh, beautiful.
With lovely leaders. Now Guyana has to depend on Exxon to use their cable to monitor. You believe that?
Yeah.
Yes. We hoping that Exxon gonna give Guyana a key for the padlock for you own cattle ranch. Oh, Papa. Oh, Mama. I wish you guys were alive. You know, we got to pray for these leaders.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, we do.
I beg you, O Creator, help us all.
Yes.
Help us all.
Please.
Do we have any telephone calls coming in here? Suan,
Not as yet, but
can somebody tell us these things? Hmm? That's a story we carried yesterday. We ain't putting padlock on our wardrobe. And we have people coming in fetching out your money and your gold. All right, well, if you don't have any phone calls, let me get going. Because I'm still studying the drinks at a birthday that I have to go to.
Focus.
GPL, the Guyana Power and Light. All of you have to hear this and never forget what I'm saying here tonight. You know, I must warn you, if you're suffering from blood pressure, high one, it will go up. If it's low, it will go down. Lower. So, you're taking a risk listening this. I suggest you go to bed or turn to another radio station and don't listen here. Or maybe you should go take your tablet right now, because it is unbelievable what is taking place at GPL. This one is not a dilemma, a blame game, or a crisis. This is complete madness, insanity. This is the things that send people to their grave for no reason. What's taking place here? Listen carefully. Mr. Irfan Ali, president, now telling Guyana that GPL failed to maintain any of its facilities and power lines over the past 4 years. And the situation got to be fixed right away. He was addressing a simple ceremony at OP 3 days ago. The power lines, he said, were not maintained. Their systems was not maintained. And today, we have to correct that immediately. He said Guyana entering a new phase of development, one which has already witnessed the liberalization of the telecommunications sector, and plans are ahead for boosting power generation and water supply. You hear that?
Yes.
You hear that?
yes, sir.
Light and water supply. Them is the two of the most important things in life. None of us can live without them. Not true? True. Yes, it is. I don't know what our president talking about though. For the last 4 years, we hardly had blackouts in this country under the coalition. All of a sudden, the PPP is back and it's blackouts all over the place, 8 to 10 times a day. And the excuse they're giving us is no maintenance was done on the lines and the plants. So how this thing used to work all the time, Mr. President? Could you tell us that? Brothers and sisters, I think some of you are confused, but I am not. I'm a clear thinking individual. And when it comes to money and business, I breathe it. I smell it I taste it, I eat it, because it's in my bloodstream. Them been running GPL. The PPP been running GPL just like Gaisuku Ponzi scheme. Always pumping in money. Year go year come and never made a profit. This is very interesting for your ears, Guyana. Brothers and sisters, please listen carefully. In 12 years, from 2003 to 2015, when the PPP lose election, them give GPL 40 billion Guyana dollars, which is equal to 200 American dollars, or 3 billion Guyana dollars every year, which is also equivalent to 16 million US yearly, helping to keep GPL wire alive. You hear the kind of money?
Yes. Big money.
They don't make a profit, and you got to plug in 16 million US a year for keep them wire alive. That is what they're telling us. You know?
Wow.
It means that GPL was not able to upkeep itself. You had to plug in that money. It's running at a last year go year come under the PPP. This is how these financial gurus, Jagdeo, Ashney Singh, Winston Brasington, who was the chairman of the board running the affairs of this country with GPL. I always believe when a man or a government do good, praise him or praise them. From 2015, when the coalition took office, them stopped putting that 16 million US into GPL. It was making enough to take care of itself, and the most important thing is that we never had blackouts like under the PPP rule.
Wow.
You hear that?
Wow.
All of a sudden, the PPP is back, Ashney Singh is back, Bharat Dindyal is back at the GPL, and Brasington is back in the country, this time at the head of the gas to show project. And what we seeing?
Blackout.
Blackouts. Blackouts. And more blackouts. What are you hearing now from the President Irfan Ali? Money has to start pumping in there again.
Wow.
It's just a figure he ain't mentioned yet. That figure might not send up your blood pressure. That figure might give you a heart attack. Just read through the lines, Guyana. Read through the lines. The PNC never fixed the power lines, and now President Ali said he gonna have to fix it urgently. Wow. You guys show the money he doling out going to fix anything? Or is the same Ponzi scheme they were pulling from 2003 to 2015 on us? Them restarting all over again. You tell me. I am not too smart or bright. Remember, I only went to primary school. St. Paul's Anglican in Wakenham. 12 years, y'all been putting over 3 billion US dollar each year. Each year. Where the money used to go. What it was doing. What it did for GPL. And as soon as the coalition went in, they stopped it. And the place running right without any blackouts. Or hardly ever. You shouldn't say any. Or hardly ever. And they were even making a profit too. All of a sudden, y'all say money got to go in to fix it. Fix what? Mr. Ali, you need to tell us fix what and on where. I want you to know that we will be watching what money you're throwing there. Glenn will be keeping an eye on that just for the people of this country. I have already instructed my reporters to keep an eye, stay close on that. Because this Ponzi scheme, what y'all been going on with, have to stop. You know, I had an accountant friend, used to work there. Jack Day was president at the time and announced $1 billion for GPL. Months passed, and the friend told me, Glenn, you know, I asked Ashney, Chief, the money coming? He said you had to ask back Ashney the second time. And the look and suck teeth Ashney gave him. The man want to know if he believe you will lose the work by the afternoon. You know the money never reached GPL?
Wow.
Maybe, just maybe, Dr. Singh spend it or send it somewhere. My friend wasn't au fait with. Just read through the lines.
Wow.
Guys, brothers and sisters, let me say this loud and clear. GPL is one of the largest money-making institutions in Guyana. They have no other business, none whatsoever, can make money like GPL. Every country on earth makes tremendous money on their electricity supply.
Yes.
I don't know of any other business that can give you profit other than cocaine, marijuana, drugs, like the electricity sector.
Yes.
None. Take the 10 biggest businesses in Guyana. Banks DIH, DDL, Gafoor, Tulsi Prasad, Bihari Group, the banks, and add it to 10, take 3-4 more, and they can't make profits like GPL. None 10 can make profit. Trust me on this. Any smart person with an ounce of business sense can take that and mint real cash. They can become billionaire overnight with it.
Yes.
It has no business, none whatsoever in Guyana,
Yes.
can make money like that. And year come, we have to pump the poor people's money into GPL. At least that is what they keep on saying. Right?
Yes.
Yes. These are your financial gurus we have as leaders in this land. What a business people they are. Very smart, eh?
Yes.
Guys, don't give me Glenn Lall. Don't give the leaders of those companies I just talked about. Put a market vendor to run that GPL. Trust me, you will see no more blackouts in Guyana. And they would pay Guyana billions in VAT, plus billions in income tax to the GRA. I am putting my life on that, not my business. Man, every little business all over the place, people just make money and just pay VAT and income taxes. Every vendor makes a profit when the day comes. We have leaders who study in the best universities of the world how to do business and run an economy, run a country. And everything they put hand on loses money.
Wow.
Not one of them makes a profit. Come on, man. Come on, guys. Why are you doing this to the people of this country?
Yes.
Why? GPL, the money-making machine, instead of putting real cash in our treasury, yes, me and you, have to help them stay alive. Taking the poor pensioner salaries for keep them alive. Like if GPL get a stroke or an invalid. What is going on in this land, guys? Tell us. Tell this nation, financial gurus. You know, many years ago, when Jagdeo was president, I asked him, why you guys don't put concrete posts and done? That will last a lifetime. Rather than spending all these billions every year on wood posts that rottens and fall down every month. He said, Glenn, we got the wood for free and it's cheaper. You know, at the time, I agreed with him. But I didn't know how much it used to cost our pockets. I just took his word at face value. It is years after I realized GPL is just like Gaisuku and all the rest of projects. A Ponzi scheme, correct. A Ponzi scheme. They just have them running and they're preying on me and you, the citizens of this land, you know,
Yes.
to pump money into it. Oh, you see blackout. Oh, you see blackout. And you don't care, you don't look. You don't want to live in dark, right? You want your business going.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So these are the schemes, these are the tricks that prey and they play on us, the citizens. Man, you have a minibus working all the time, every day and every night. And this bus giving you no problem. As soon as you change the driver, the bus start breaking down, giving you problems. This wrong and that wrong. What do you think the new driver doing to you?
Robber you.
It's cunning. It's cunning. He wants to con you guys. It's jit the man jitting you. He would even take out the parts and put in an old one to show you. Because many times you don't know anything. But you're buying the man's story. You're buying the crook story. Let me ask, would you continue with that driver?
No.
No. No. See why you always have to keep your eyes on everything?
Yes.
And all the financial gurus?
Absolutely.
You have to.
Yes.
You have to, bro. 23 years, the PPP, driving GPL, making no profits. And every year, you house got to put in. You house have to put in 15, 16 million US dollar to get it right. And you never get it right. Guys, is it tax dollars I'm talking about when I say your house? Yes, this is why pensioners and people's salary can increase. And as soon as the PNC go in, I ain't saying that to make them feel good.
Right.
It's a good thing they did.
Yes.
As soon as they go in 2015, no more lockdown. The thing working good. Like I said, we had little or no blackouts. And as soon as you get back the old driver, the PPP,
Boss
it
breakdown.
start all over again. with that 16 million again.
Yes.
Well, he's saying we got to spend. Well, he ain't said 16 yet. I'm waiting to see how much he can spend. Guys, y'all got to stop this scheming. Stop it. We have too many poor people that can do well with that cash every year. It can double, if not triple, old people pension. Matter of fact, that 200 million US, y'all say, y'all spend there for that 12 years. By now, we would have done have 2 extra harbor bridge above the Demerara Harbor Bridge to ease the congestions we the citizens are faced with on a daily basis. And Mr. Ali is the first one who should have known that, because he used to drive every day over the bridge and he used to be in that congestion. So Mr. Ali, I know you can do better. And I know you will have to do better. You will. You must. I had a press electrician named Sargent. I got to share this story with you. He used to work for Chronicle and the Stabrook News. He was the only man at the time who knows about printing press. So we all had no choice but to hire him, but to keep him on board. He was a big man, a very nice chap when you get off with him. He used to do me a similar thing what the PPP want to continue at GPL. I can't speak for Chronicle or Stabrook News what he did to them. But hear my story. All hour in the night, you have to call Mr. Sargent for the press. He would come and do a magic and get the press up and running. Next morning, he would come by the office and say, boss, you need to get a circuit breaker or some other thing. Poor me. This fool, at the time, didn't even know what is a breaker. I would say, Mr. Sargent, go and buy the thing and get it fixed. Months again is the same thing. And again, I would say, brother, go and buy the breaker, man, and fix it. This went on for a while, till one day I said, wait, something wrong here. I called a friend who knows a little bit about electrician and told him what was going on. He said, no, man, Glenn, no. Breaker can't damage so often, so quick. My gosh, oh no. So I called Mr. Sargent to the office and showed him the invoices 4 times. In 8 months, the man buy 4 100 amp breakers for the press. So I asked him, where you put these breakers? He said, boss, on the press. I said, well, let's go and show me. He said, okay, boss, but I have to go pick up my wife from school and I will come back later to show you. I never saw or heard back from Mr. Sargent until them boys at Chronicle called me about 6 years after and said, Sargent dead. Sorry, guys. I refused to go to the tea funeral to see him when he was dead because I never saw the breakers anywhere in the press. And to this day, it's a Ponzi scheme the man be running on me all the time. Because he saw me. He saw the love, the trust, and how stupid I was. So he took full advantage to rob this idiot. Brothers and sisters, I share that story because that's how the PPP and the PNC leaders see all of you. all of you believe in them.
Yes.
Like how me believe in the electrician. Y'all believe they will do everything and anything
Yes.
to safeguard and protect you. Yes. They are your only savior. They will come to your rescue anywhere and anytime. You believe they will never rob you. Wow. You just even throw mala around the neck when you see them. But not now. Them just walk with them own mala and pay people for put it around their neck. I saw that many times and smile. Guyanese, ladies and gentlemen, it is only when you start questioning their actions and words, then you will soon find out who these people really are. There is a saying, you can fool all the people some of the time, and some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. Abraham Lincoln, an ex-president, words that was, not mine. You hear that, Mr. President?
Yes.
You hear that, Mr. Harmon? Tomorrow, we are carrying a story on our Attorney General, Anil Nandalal. Could you please play that video so the nation can hear him in his own words? Play.
And we
I'm
still
playing
have
it so
blackouts.
you can hear him.
And I don't know when it will stop. And I am saying that as part of a government. But we are working towards it. And that is why we are pursuing so many different avenues to provide power, and power that is cheap, renewable, and alternative to fossil fuel. And that is why we are promoting solar, we are promoting hydro, we are promoting wind, and we are pushing the gas to shore project. You can't fault us for not trying. If APNU AFC didn't vote down Amila Falls, we would have had hydropower by now, and perhaps the blackouts would have gone. Perhaps the blackouts would have gone. But they cut that down. But as President Ali reported, there was no maintenance of the transmission lines for the past 4 years. Right now, there are Trinidadian contractors and a whole host of contractors who are working in servicing and maintaining the lines which have been neglected for the past 4 years. And that is the hallmark of the APNU AFC term in government.
Wow. You guys heard him. Before he stick to law, what he know a little bit about? He pushing him out in business. Jack Day and the financial gurus who ain't got no figures to show to defend this gas to show project. He get Anil now for sing the song. But Jack Day and no Anil got a horsey voice. And the song he's singing coming over worse to the people. He said like you, I don't know when power outages will stop. You hear that? Like you, I don't know when power outages will stop. Meaning blackout. He grew up in this country and now he's a middle-aged man and it still got blackout. And I don't know when it will stop. And I am saying that as part of the government, but we are working towards it. That is why we are pursuing so many different avenues to provide power, and power that is cheap, an alternative to fossil fuel, something other than GPL that we talking about. He said we are promoting solar, we are promoting hydro, we are promoting wind, and we are pushing the gas to shore project too. This man pushing a lot of things. He got to be a pusher, man. Gotta be a pusher, man. He say you can't fault them for trying. Hear that? You can't fault them from trying.
Yes.
If APNU, AFC didn't cut Amelia Falls, perhaps the blackout would have done. Perhaps. You hear it?
Yes.
He ain't certain. He don't know. Perhaps we would have been with another 2 billion debt on we head. You hear that?
Yes.
You know, we would have been perhaps with another $2 billion debt on we head. Them don't check that part at all. Them, you don't hear them talk nothing about that at all. They just like to spend and try, not doing studies to make sure these things will work. No, them just want to spend and try and leave Guyana in debts. You hear them?
Yes.
Them a try, and them and perhaps. Hear what the man said. You can't fault us for not trying. Just like President Ali is saying how there was no maintenance for the transmission lines for the past 4 years. But I'm trying for fix that now. The man said how he hopeful the upgrades that are currently being done will be completed soon, and we will have some normalcy restored in the electricity sector. Wow. He hoping again. Gone with the same tune what Jagdev singing, but he just add without figures. Same thing, he added without figures. Them gonna try. Guys, this is beautiful Guyana. This is beautiful Guyana you're living in. Let me say this. Listen to this carefully. Bloomberg reported today that natural gas is falling off the map. I want Mr. Jagdeo, Mr. Ali, Mr. Harman, and all of them to hear that. Natural gas is falling off the map. It's dead. The people say solar, hydro, and wind has run past gas and is far cheaper and cleaner to use. Them said enough power companies get catch off guard, and now them left with billions of American dollars and euro dollars in assets that they can't sell out or even give away. I only hope they're listening to that. Bloomberg only said that today. The CEO for a huge gas plant in Spain said, if you find somebody who's ready to offer a good price for our gas plants in Spain, then we are ready to sell. We are not finding people. Anil and Jagdeo, are you not want to bring the one, man? Are you sure going to bring the one? The people are ready. They are ready to give you for next to nothing. And perhaps, or maybe, if you smile right with them, you might get it all for free. Because right now they have no use for it. The whole world is going solar. And the price tag for it, they say, is $1 billion US. And it's bigger and better for Guyana. It ain't gonna go past 2 or 3 billion. They're ready to sell it for less than 1 billion. Like I said, if you smile, perhaps. Or maybe Guyana get it for free. Bloomberg said the cost of solar and hydro dropped dramatically in the last 10 years, making gas plants look like stupidness because you're losing money. Not Glenn saying so, you know. The European Union Commission said them is not going to wait until people tell them that gas is no longer going to be used. Them said them going to get out the business because there is no point building gas plants now that will be in no use a few years to come. That's what the people saying. The people say it will make no sense for build things that cannot use and that will put unbearable financial burden. You hear that? Yes. That will put unbearable financial burden on the shoulders of our children.
Yes.
Guys, you guys hearing me?
Yes.
The US President, Mr. Joseph Biden, announced a big $2.2 trillion program, an energy plan that will make renewables cheaper and will speed up the transition away from gas and oil projects. That's what the US President is saying right now. The European Investment Bank, all the banks in Europe, President said that their banks will end all financing for gas and oil projects by this year, December. The man said, put it mildly, gas is over. Gas to Shore project is over. You hear that, Guyana? It's not me saying so. Mr. Joe Biden saying so. The European Union saying so. The European banks saying so. Yes. Yes. These are the bright chaps.
Good evening, Mr. Lall and panel.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I've been listening to your program for quite some time, and I know that just like a few minutes ago, you've been pleading for people to call in and have their concerns heard. But I would like to advise you, don't feel bad that people don't call in. Guyana is a young country in this oil thing, and the only way we knowing anything is listening to this program and getting information from you. There is no way the government or any other organization is trying to teach the people anything about gas and the money and the business generally except you. So if you don't get calls, Mr. Lall, it's okay. We learn it. We learn it. We get in there.
Thank you.
And it's only because of you we get in there.
Yes, thank you. Like I
So
said,
don't feel bad. It's a psychological thing. And if the people don't call in, it's because they don't know what to say or how to say it or what to do, how to dispute you or even contribute, because we have no knowledge of this business.
Yeah, but brother, we need to get the leaders to come and
They're not
answer
going to come.
and
You
speak
right,
to
they're not
us.
gonna come, sir.
Speak
right
to you guys.
They're fleecing us. They're robbing us. You think they're going to come and shine we out? They come in and tell me nothing. Now they make me afraid of what's going on.
Yeah,
But
well, like I said, I'll continue to educate you guys as much as it come to me.
we need
And
it.
so that one day they will wake up. They will smell the coffee.
Yes. But on something that is identifiable to the people, as compared to oil, we as I said, we're now learning it. We're dunces in it, but something that we're not dunces in. The GRA situation with vehicles that are not paying revenue for years, and then when you're going to pay up for the new year, they want you to pay all the years that you wasn't paying. That to me is fleecing the people. It's another way the government is making money off the people. Additionally to all the other things that you discussed, they're making money on us, GPL, etc., etc.
I heard you.
I believe
stay on the
this thing
line.
is
Stay on the
need to
line. Stay
stop.
on the line. We carried a story today that the head of GRA said they collected, I think it's 42 billion Guyana dollars. They went after some big companies in this country. The Guyanese companies.
Well, we are getting fleeced.
Wait.
because-
They have the nerve to tell us that you're going after the Guyanese companies and all the foreign companies.
Getting duty free.
We are not hearing anything.
Waivers.
As a matter of fact, they're getting every single thing duty free and tax waivers on it.
Right.
But you see, they're fighting down we, the people,
Yes.
their own people.
That's where I'm getting this disgruntlement, because I believe it is so unfair that they're giving all these businesses away and they're giving all these people tax-free, duty-free. And I think it's a trap. They're setting us up. I mean, there's coronavirus. The pandemic is here. People are overseas willing to remigrate. And their vehicles are here parked up because they're overseas planning how they're going to come back. They're doing the business, packing containers and stuff like that. A time will pass when they will not be able to pay their revenue. Tell me why that is fair for GRA. The vehicle is not on the road. It's not doing anything. It's just parked up, right? And when you come back, or even if you hear the vehicle got a problem and you fix it and you're ready to put it on the road, right? It's a problem to go now and get your license for this year when you owe 3, 4, 5 years ago. It is not right.
Yes, well, I think that's the way they fleece you, because I could tell you in the United States, you can call in if you have insurance and say, listen, I will not be using this vehicle. It park up, and you send them the mileage on it, and they put the insurance on a hold. You don't have to pay.
Well, you have to turn in your tags. Once you turn in your tags, which is the license plate.
No,
right?
you don't have to turn in the tag. You give them the mileage, and once they record the mileage, and when you're ready to use it, you send them back the mileage, and they open it.
Yeah.
I think they do it with the same turn in the tag. If you turn in the tag, you don't have to pay.
Right. You
Because
turn in
you're
the
not
tag.
using the vehicle.
Yeah, and when you're ready to come back on the road, you go and get new plates, new tags.
Exactly.
And
But
new
I don't
insurance,
think
and no back pay.
I don't think our leaders, any one of our leaders understand how these things are being done, or how to run the country, how to treat their people, how to make money. You know?
You know, Mr. Lall, I spoke about this thing with Gildari show before he was transferred to the Crown.
By the way, he's coming back on Monday, he said.
Great. But I pleaded with him to get Godfrey Station or somebody on the program so he could talk to me and tell me why this is logical and why this is beneficial. I mean, it's crazy. They will have a vehicle, my vehicle parked up. I'm suffering from this thing right now. That's why I could talk about it.
All right.
My vehicle is parked up, and
Well, go into them, man. Go into them, and let's get going.
The chief licensing officer told me that there's a policy, there's a law that GRA can't change it.
Well, we have to tell them to change the law.
There is no law, Mr. Lall. The Parliament makes the law. The management of GRA don't make law. Neither the president.
All right.
It's a policy.
I hear
and
you.
They could very well and change the policy.
I hear you.
Look, Mr. Lall.
I hear
They
you.
changed the policy. I remember when I first came to Guyana, the tin, to get a tin number, was free.
Listen. Let's give another people a chance to ask the question. Let's stick on the subject matter. All right. Thanks.
Yes.
Thank
All
you.
right, well, we need to get this part.
Thank you. Yeah, let's give another people. Guys, I don't want to stray on the topic. Let's stick to what we are saying, and let's get going.
Okay, someone sent a message on WhatsApp. They're asking, Mr. Lall, why are you the only one speaking against all of these things that the leaders are doing to us in Guyana?
Wow. Why I'm the only one speaking?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a nice question. I wish I know the answer. But that's a tough one. But I can give I can share
From your perspective.
a little of my experience in life. So maybe, you guys can come to some kind of conclusion. We all have expectations in life. But when expectations are in the wrong place with the wrong people, then it's a difficult thing to speak out or go against people you believe that can give you your expectations. Let me say it this way. As a boss, everyone wants to be nice and would not tell me anything, even if I am wrong. Because nobody wants to upset the boss, because the boss can decrease their salary. Or he can even, or he would not increase it. So you gotta be nice to your boss. You gotta shut up, even if he says wrong things. It's like you got a neighbor, and they got guns. You will take anything that they do or say, because you depend on them to protect you in the case of bandits attack or stuff like that. It's all about expectations you have in life. If you know a man that's bring food and help you out with your kids, even if he do something wrong in your home, you ain't gonna tell you nothing. You know why? Because the expectations will cut, and you think you will starve. So people will not say things. People will not do things when they have expectations. Is the same thing with leaders? Them can say and do anything. They would send you to your grave and you will not say a word to them. And you know that you're going to your grave. Why? Because you believe them will take out spite on your family, although you're still going to your grave. You take anything and everything from them because you expect something from them. That's how people live. So this is why we are where we are here today. You understand? You gotta take it, because you either need a job, you need an increase in your salary, you need a promotion, you need a house lot, you need a duty-free car, something, man. Everybody believes that politicians can make their lives better. Everybody believes that. President Ali will make their lives better with something or the other. That's how people think. That's who we are as human beings. They just believe if you're the president a friend, he can make your life better. So no one, except a few people that I know, and myself, would want to upset or say anything negative or bad about him or any politicians. You get it? You get the drift where I'm going?
Yes,
Yes. Yeah. And the reason for that, I believe they put their expectations in the wrong place. You know where my expectation is? You know where mine lies? With the man above.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Our Creator. That's where my expectation is and lies. If all mankind can place their expectations in him, we will have such a beautiful world. No one will rob you. No one will do or say anything that you can't respond to. You understand?
Yep.
You know, when Jagdev was president, let me share the story. When he was president, he did something to a friend or caused it to be done to the man through his speech. And the friend told me about it. I eventually met President Jagdeo on that subject matter. And I told him of the issue. And he said, nah, he know nothing what I talked about. I said, okay. Because I told him, okay. But the thing he did, I had to tell him. I said, because you may want to do that to me too. And the conversation went on. I told him he was president for almost 7 years. It's about 6 or 7 years. We talk 3 and 4 times a week. We meet 3 or 4 times a month. And I asked him, have I ever asked you a single favor? You know, Suan, he could not answer me because I have never ever asked him a single favor. Nor have I ever asked any one of the politicians in this country a favor. And I said to him, you know why, Mr. President? I used to call him B. I said, you know why, B? It is because I, Glenn Lall, believes that you, Bharat Jagdeo, does not own anything in this world. Not even his short and pants he had on. I tell him, our Creator owns everything. And he decides what is for you. And I told him he decides what is for me. I remember telling him, he can't take or give me anything in this life. You hear that, guys? And that's how I want you guys to understand life. The man above is the real boss. He owns everything, and he decides what is for you, and what is for me, and what is for them in this life. I did tell President Jagdev that at the time. So, guys, you got to place your trust and your expectations in the Supreme Being who really owns and controls every breath we breathe and every piece of item that you hold or you have in your house. Nobody can't give you anything. Glenn Lall can't give you anything. What Glenn Lall is doing here by educating you, it was meant to be. The man above is guiding my thoughts, my words, my actions, everything I do, everything I say. So, stop placing your trust and expectations in mankind. That's the only way you will get bold and speak the way I do, so that all Guyana, all of us, can have a better and more beautiful life. Carry all your expectations to the man above and him alone. Yes, the man above. You know, I think it is time. I don't want to go on. I have to go to a birthday party.
Yes.
So, Guys, thanks for listening. May God bless you all and have a great remainder of the evening and sleep well. Thanks again for listening. That's it.